I started watching UFC because he was larger than life. He was so dominant.
He came out very low, almost crawling at him. And he's going to do that again.
Yeah, just for a second.
So, wow, what a powerful leg kick that was.
Jon Bones Jones.
Again they battle in another big knee.
Considered by many to be the greatest fighter to ever do it.
He's got a choke.
Trying to choke him out.
He's standing against him. Lyoto's in trouble.
Jon Jones remains the UFC light heavyweight champion.
Chokes Lyoto Machida completely unconscious.
Johnny Bones Jones.
Jon was an elite wrestler and went on to become a national JUCO champion.
But I dedicated my life to wrestling wholeheartedly.
When his girlfriend got pregnant, Jon faced a difficult decision.
Suddenly I have a kid on the way, and suddenly my full scholarship to Iowa State was not there anymore.
He left college, walked into the Bomb Squad MMA gym, and began his journey into mixed martial arts.
The very first day that he trained mixed martial arts, he did, everybody in the gym was like, this guy is now.
Working as a bouncer while trying to support a new family, Jones couldn't waste any time. Within weeks, he scheduled his first professional fight.
I had been training for about 2 months, and I took my first fight.
Well, Mark, we've got some light heavyweight action. The pro debuting Jon Jones fighting out of the Bomb Squad. We got some big boys tonight. Let's see what happens here. And Johnny Jones, a kickboxer and a wrestler, big fan of Anderson Silva.
He won in less than 2 minutes.
Jones with a suplex! Osbix! He flipped him over. Now he's raining some left hands down onto Bernard. Bernard is out. A first round TKO by Jon Jones. Mark, was that impressive or what?
And Jon has 2 brothers that are elite NFL athletes.
Pro bowlers.
I mean, bro, he comes from fantastic genetics.
I had no talent with the ball, you know, so they had me a defensive line next to Arthur, a guy who's big and fit to be a defensive lineman. And I'm just skinny next to him, and that's how I got the nickname Bones. And
Jones fought his second fight just 1 week after his first.
Oh, that's it. He's out. Oh, he's out. And he ate a left there, too.
He rattled off win after win, fighting 6 times in 12 weeks.
I made it to the UFC after only 9 months of MMA training, so, I mean, which is really unheard of.
Yeah.
It was immediately clear Johnny Bones was one of the most unique athletes to ever enter the fight game.
Light heavyweight matchup, and here we go.
At 21 years old, he made his UFC debut.
Throws a spinning back kick.
All right, somewhere in the middle of what I thought.
He's just taking it to Goose Mount.
Switched and brought the left knee.
Johnny Bones Jones.
The victory brought a realization for Jon that he was able to compete at the highest levels in MMA.
Then there's this other guy, Jon Jones. He's like a wrestler, but he's really skinny, he's young, he's green. And I'm like, oh man, I'll fight that skinny Jon Jones. Yeah, probably made the wrong decision on that one.
There it is, that's what I'm talking about.
Jon's wrestling experience is obvious in his takedowns,
And another one.
often brutal and theatrical.
Wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, athletic, young. Suplex. Greco-Roman All-American.
But it is Jones' striking that captured the attention of fans everywhere.
that first round, sitting on my stool. I'm like, this guy is f***ing good, man.
He displays remarkable creativity in the cage.
We are headed once again to the judges' scorecards.
Playing the winner by unanimous decision, Johnny Bones Jones!
This journey that I'm on can go as far as I take it, and only I can mess it up.
In his 10th pro fight, Jon Jones' first hint of controversy surfaced.
Bones Jones!
He demolished Matt Hamill. However, a series of illegal elbows earned him a DQ.
Nice trip. There's some Greco. His timing is so good.
Now, is there a part of you that feels like you never lost, even though you had the one disqualification loss?
John is completely undefeated. He only has that one loss to Matt Hamill, which is a disqualification in a fight where he was totally dominant in.
Big elbows.
No, you can't do 12 to 6.
Stand up.
The up to down elbow from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock is illegal.
So you make an honest mistake and throw an illegal elbow and have everything crash and burn. You know?
Due to intentional elbows, there's been a disqualification of Johnny Bones Jones. Therefore, the winner is Matt Hamill.
I don't beat myself up about it. You know, now I know the rules, and you would never see me going out that way ever again.
He amped up his training.
And I trained in Albuquerque, New Mexico at high elevation. I train at 6,000 feet above sea level.
It's not often that guys like this come along, you know, not at all. Jon Jones, there's not a lot of them around.
And he's just got super athlete family. They're just, and he's huge. That size difference is so big.
In his first fight back from the controversial loss, Jones made a statement.
He gonna get it?
Big takedown, but back in the full guard again.
I love Jon Bones Jones, man. He's the best I've ever seen. He's the best in the world, man.
Jon Bones Jones!
Doing something for me for a change was getting my education, so I decided that Purdue Global was the way to go.
Learning should never stop.
It was definitely the right time for me.
There's more to life than just being everyday average.
This is my comeback. Start yours at purdueglobal.edu.
Early payday, fee-free overdrafts, no monthly fee. Chime, the #1 most loved banking app.
He's a serious talent. Even just then when he just stood up again, he's huge. I mean, he's so big. He's a young guy. He's only going to get better, and he's very motivated and very smart.
The Ultimate Fighter Season 8 winner, Ryan Bader!
Who will truly become the next big thing? Will it be Bader or will it be Jones?
Next up, a fight to determine who would contend for the title against Shogun.
High kick by Jones.
Constant offensive assault.
Looking for the shot. Stuffed easily.
Catching fighters off guard with moves no one else was willing to try.
He stepped right over and got his back.
And another benefit of having 84-inch reach on his arms is he can get his fingers together when most people can't.
Yeah, he went right for a straight guillotine here. Tightened it right up, twisted it. Oh, he got hands all over! Jon Jones chokes out Ryan Bader! Wow! Jon Jones' first fight in the UFC for a title, he's fighting Mauricio Shogun Rua, who is a legend.
Yeah, I'm fighting the biggest fight of my life. If I wasn't meant to be here, I wouldn't be here.
Undisputed UFC Light Heavyweight
Shogun and Jones, our main event of the evening for the light heavyweight title. Big takedown.
The Shogun was a legend of UFC.
Shogun trying to get back to the feet, but he's giving up his back in the process. Shogun turned. He's hurt, Mike. He's wobbled.
Johnny Bones brutalized the defending champion.
Another side kick to the knee.
Man, he's so forceful. That teep to the face.
Creative combinations, athletic spinning elbows, and kicks.
Spinning back elbow.
Fighting Johnny Bones is a nightmare.
Stuff like that, he's just so creative in there.
Relentless. The title win made Jones the youngest champion in UFC history.
Jon Jones is the youngest champion in UFC history! Wow! And it wasn't even a struggle.
UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Jon Bones Jones!
He is the present and he is the future. And he might be the greatest talent that we've ever seen in the UFC.
He's a freak, man. He's a real freak.
He most definitely is.
It's crazy to watch him train because he's just super lasered in and focused.
For his first title defense, he took on another legend of the Octagon, Rampage Jackson, one of the most intimidating fighters ever.
Gentlemen, this is for the belt. You've been given your instructions. Expect a clean fight.
And he's the best ever at controlling distance.
He does the finger at the finger range.
Yeah, pokey.
The pokey range.
There's that spinning elbow. Just like against Shogun, perfectly timed.
Rampage had never been stopped in his historic career.
You know, chokes out Rampage, chokes out, he's just smashed everybody.
Rampage has not been stopped in the Octagon. That's what Jones wants, to be the first man in the UFC to stop Quinton Rampage Jackson.
Jon Jones has defended his UFC light heavyweight championship.
Against Rashad Evans, Jones was pitted against one of his longtime friends and training partners.
Rashad
How good is this?
So intense right now.
Ready, good.
Here we go!
So far, Jon is controlling the center of the octagon.
Head kick by Rashad. Big head kick by Rashad Evans.
Jones might be in trouble.
I felt like this was a pioneering performance with ranged elbows from Jon Jones.
In with the elbow. That is a brilliant move. And again, he stopped him with that elbow. Closing in his jaw.
Jones used his elbows to devastating effect.
But Rashad Evans, there was no way he could have trained for this kind of offensive. No one in Rashad Evans' gym is going to be fighting like Jon Jones in this range, stepping in with elbows over the top.
It's not just the long limbs, it's the way he delivers it. And a big right hand with the left hook. Clearly, Jon Jones has defended his title.
against another former UFC light heavyweight champion.
Belfort got hold of Jones' arm, hyperextending it in a perfect armbar.
Even though Vitor almost snapped that arm in half. That was crazy.
Oh, armbar! He's got it! He finished it right here! Vitor Belfort!
Jones allowed his arm to pop out of socket.
You what an animal John is. Yeah. He didn't tap. He just let his arm get jacked.
And he might have popped his arm. We don't know how John's arm is right now.
And then wound up tapping Vitor the next round.
It's amazing when you consider the fact that this kid didn't grow up with a striking background. It's crazy.
Yeah, John he's not just talented.
Side kick to the body, he hurt him. He hurt him with that side kick to the body.
And now the axe kick the same way. Not good for Belfort.
This guy is trying to get him in a mounted crucifix. He just needs to secure the right arm.
He submitted Belfort.
Now he's going for a Kimura.
It is all over!
That's it.
John Jones remains the UFC light heavyweight champion.
Good job, buddy. He's just got incredible, his ability to overcome.
John Jones, Chael Sonnen. And here we go.
He's so comfortable in world championship fights. He's had nothing but world championship fights.
That's all he knows.
Yeah. Big round by Jones. Main event, and you're like, holy shit, this is the big one. John's like, this is a fight.
Another day
or
in
like
the office.
Looking to finish this fight early. All over him right here in the first round. John Jones has finished Chael Sonnen.
And they get to this point where you have to be so much better to beat them.
Fame and celebrity are powerful drugs.
I had this crazy thing that I would do where I would party 1 week before every fight. And I did it throughout my whole career.
I party with John, but when he was partying, I would see him at the bar in Ithaca, and it would be like a couple weeks before his fight, and this guy would be out there shots. And
I was winning, and it was starting to feel effortless.
As Bones rose to the highest levels of his sport, his focus waned.
we saw that in the Gustafsson fight. I mean, he wasn't in shape for that fight at all.
Yeah.
They said he was barely training.
I did a lot of wild stuff leading up to the fight. I definitely didn't give it my all.
As far as partying and not sleeping right.
Mainly
and
partying,
drinking.
Drinking, staying up all night.
You asked me earlier, Joe, was anybody else perfect with their takedown defense? And yes, that man, John Jones, the champion, had stopped all 16 of his opponent's takedown attempts.
In what turned out to be the fight of the year, Jones took on Swedish fighter Alexander Gustafsson.
With the takedown. First time in the UFC. Right back up.
And there's a nasty elbow by John. Right to the side of the head.
Right at the end of the round.
Get some of that off.
They wanted to take some of that back.
Gustafsson with the right again.
The fight continued to go back and forth.
Just past the midway point of this championship fight.
Kicks to the body, hard kick. That kick was hard, Mike. And John Jones might have to take Gustafsson out to retain his title.
They are on their feet here inside Air Canada Center.
Here's a nice elbow.
Caught him.
Oh, that might have hurt.
Yeah, that did. Jones in the big.
He's just a natural born fighter. He just knows how to fight.
The UFC light heavyweight title is on the line.
Jones won the unanimous decision.
Big head kick.
And Gustafsson just ate it.
Yep.
Unbelievable. What a fight. That might be the greatest title fight in the history of the light heavyweight division.
By unanimous decision, and still the undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, John
super fight against undefeated Daniel Cormier was set.
That these people cheer for me and they don't even like me. They just hate John
The
Jones.
bad blood between the two fighters burst over in a pre-fight presser.
Is there any chance, though, 1 week from today, that you guys end up earning each other's respect in the octagon and can squash this between you? John, I'd ask you that first.
DC.
Daniel?
I have no desire to be friends with him.
Costing Jones $50,000 in fines for the brawl.
I dislike him because he hates me. You know, we fought 2 years ago.
Sure.
I beat him fair and square. You know, no matter what he tries to blame the win on. The first time we were both undefeated, and I didn't know if he had that it factor. When you have an undefeated athlete, you don't know what, if there's that chosen one, and I thought maybe he could be the guy. I've always felt like I was the guy.
Kick to the body.
But despite the emotions of the fight, Jones handled his business.
And now that I've beaten him and I've proven that he isn't the chosen one.
Good straight left by John. Look the way he utilizes that reach that you talked about. Those kicks by John.
I feel like there's really nothing special about him.
Like, John Jones is playing for keeps. He's trying to damage these people. He's taking pink slips. He's stealing the cars.
Defeating DC on a unanimous decision.
This ultimate grudge match goes the distance. Perhaps maybe all the bad blood has not boiled over. Wow.
After the fight, Jones tested positive for cocaine metabolites.
Then light heavyweight champion John Bones Jones was preparing for another title defense when he crashed into a car in southeast Albuquerque.
Yeah, there was a car accident right here on Wansboro and Southern Boulevard. The guy just hopped off into a yard. The guy that's getting out of the SUV.
A few months later, he was involved in a hit and run.
Former UFC light heavyweight champion John Bones Jones avoids jail time. The Albuquerque fighter cut a deal with prosecutors today for a hit and run crash.
It was humiliating and somewhat of a bottom for me, and I'm ready to snap it into high gear.
He was stripped of his title.
The judge is allowing Jones to travel out of state for work and promotional appearances, but the UFC has not decided when he will be allowed to fight again.
A true case of no one being able to defeat him other than himself. After being stripped of his lightweight title and suspended for a year, John Jones returned.
John Jones. Ovens St. Preux. Fight scheduled for 5.
When you're the most gifted athlete ever to fight, spectacular spinning elbows, face kicks, and leaping knees are routine.
He's going to get taken down. Problem. Side control. Strong side control. A lot of time. But he's getting battered.
Takedowns we've ever felt. I felt that through the bottom of the soles of my
feet. For the winner by unanimous decision, John Bones Jones.
The fight secured him the interim title and lined up a rematch with DC. Unfortunately, he tested positive again.
John Jones has been suspended for 1 year after testing positive for a banned substance.
I want to first start by apologizing to all the fans who came out to support me for UFC 200.
Albuquerque Police lapel video shows an officer pull Jones over last week, slapping him with 5 citations, including for drag racing and exhibition driving.
driver's license, registration, and insurance. Please turn your car off.
UFC fighter Jon Bones Jones is expected in court tomorrow, the first time he'll make an appearance since APD stopped him for drag racing.
You are held to a higher standard, and Mr. Jones has started to fail at probation. It has been a challenge for him. He's been given, this is his third chance.
So it seems like a storm of stuff is coming his way. His career could be in grave danger.
Jones has been on probation for about 6 months.
He would serve another year-long suspension. During his absence, Jon had to watch DC, his chief rival, claim the belt.
Right. Now, he attacks like some of your downfalls, right?
Yes,
and
he public downfall.
And yeah, they are public, but he seems to feast on them.
Is this guy going to mess this up again by doing steroids or snorting cocaine or sandblasting prostitutes?
I messed up outside of the octagon. I got that taken away from me. But the guy's never beaten me. In order to be the champion, you have to beat the champion.
What he hates the most is the fact that he'll never be remembered because of the fact that I'm alive.
If Jon Jones didn't exist, Daniel Cormier would be the light heavyweight champion and he would be undefeated.
The wait is over. Jon Jones is back for the first time since April of 2016.
After a year off, Jones entered the cage with his sights set on ending the rivalry once and for all.
I believe I'm going to finish him by submission or TKO.
Jones trying to press the issue here. Cormier is down. Not out yet.
Cormier's in big trouble.
Leaving no doubt who was the best of the best.
That could be it.
Trying to
That's it. He's out. He's out.
Jon Jones has done it. Jon Jones is back, and he is the new UFC light heavyweight champion. How about it?
Wow.
And again, the new undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Jon Bones.
He was back on top of the world. But again, Jones' test samples came back positive for a banned substance. Jones was stripped of his title and suspended.
I wonder how much money he's left on the table with all these problems, especially with the attention that Conor's brought to the sport.
To be accused of steroids, you go from hero to zero immediately in some people's eyes.
Do you think that Jones should be banned now after his second failed test for a banned substance?
This time, he'd miss 16 months.
And even though USADA has proven that there's a reason for those picograms, and picograms gives you zero athletic performance.
You've never looked like a guy who was on steroids.
I believe him. It was accidental.
I will consult the bones.
The bones tell me nothing.
He'd miss 16 months before returning for a match with the Swedish brawler.
Haven't I already been to the top of the mountain and faced the dragon?
Here's the thing, that dragon in rematches gets way better, and he dudes up in rematches.
One man will soon be the undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion. This is a belt that Jon Jones defended a record 8 times.
All right, gentlemen, first round. You ready to fight?
Jon Jones is back for the first time in 16 months.
Jones shook off any rust and devastated the Swede.
Just watch Gustafsson. You get the feeling that every time he goes to start something, Jon Jones intercepts it.
Alex just got to get in that boxing range. That's the big difference in this fight has really been the leg kicks.
I would imagine this is how Jones would spar with someone that he feels like he can beat comfortably.
He took him to the ground and beat him mercilessly.
He's on a run right now. That's what I think. I think they took it away from him for all those months when he tested positive.
Light heavyweight
money that he should have made, all the legacy that he could have laid down.
Like I said in the pre-fight interview, there's only been one champion since 2011. I'm glad to be back on my throne.
Jones had taken back his title after a 16-month layoff.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times.
Johnny Bones wasted no time in reasserting his dominance over the division.
Spinning back kick to the body by Jon Jones. Very nice.
Nice.
Oh, nice spinning back kick again to the body.
Oh, that hurt him. Yeah, that got Smith's attention. See it in his eyes.
On a mission to remind the world who the best fighter on the planet truly is.
Oh, and an up elbow, and now another one from Jones. Violent takedown from Jones. From the soon-to-be and still UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Johnny Bones Jones.
Jon Jones remains light heavyweight champion after easily defeating Anthony Smith.
Santos opened with a series of devastating leg kicks.
Another calf kick.
Chopping at that leg. Those are devastating.
Early in the first round, where he kicked his leg out, I was like, all right, this fight's going to be interesting.
The attacks kept Jones off balance for the first round.
Oh, we heard him with that.
But in the second round, Jones timed the incoming strike and pulled his leg back.
Oh, Thiago hurt himself. He hurt himself.
The awkward miss caused Santos to tweak his knee.
Santos, maybe a one-legged fighter here.
Oh, nice kick.
Jones pounced.
So Jon Jones and Thiago Santos go the distance.
I mean, Dominic Reyes he's a hell of an opponent. You know, he's undefeated, extremely athletic. He's knocked out almost everyone he's gone against.
Career of total domination, cloaked in controversy and self-destruction. Reigning atop his division like no other fighter in history.
Jones knows it starts to get ugly here, and he's putting the pressure.
Jon Bones Jones. After defending his title against Dominic Reyes,
Jon chopping away at him.
Jon Bones Jones has committed to moving up to heavyweight, chasing a challenge worthy of his attention.
Yeah, I mean, he's the best of all time.
By far the best.
If he's not the greatest of all time, he's in the conversation.
Nobody brings it.